What up, my people? Welcome to Big Pants Underground. Haven't uploaded a video for several days because I am suffering from what they call RSV, some kind of respiratory virus, but I'm just going to say that RSV stands for really shitty virus because I'm on day 5 and each day has gotten progressively worse. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we are going to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because today they have finally put up critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes, which we all know is so trustworthy in their reviews. Currently, it is sitting at a 94% fresh, not certified fresh, and of course, no audience score because the audience hasn't seen it yet. But we're going to go over a few of these critic scores and their reviews because they really don't know what to make of this movie. I realize that a lot of them are shills. They don't want to lose their access to Disney, and they don't want to lose their access to Marvel, and they will say anything to prop this movie up. But even the shills are kind of confused. We'll start with a bad one. The repetitive pattern of identifying a quandary, then whipping up a high-tech answer, grows maddeningly frivolous, especially over the course of 160 minutes. That's right. 160 minutes. 2 hours and 40 minutes is how long this movie is. And he gives it a 4 out of 10. Superhero films are rarely imbued with this level of emotional resonance and gravitas, and even though it doesn't reach the heights of the original Black Panther, it's still head and shoulders above the MCU's other post-Avengers Endgame offering, and he gives it an 8 out of 10. Doesn't try to make us forget the noble T'Challa and his portrayer Chadwick Boseman, but by the end, you're at least assured that his legacy is secured. Well, I don't know how he's not in it, and he's not going to be in it, and we're never going to see him in it ever again because he's dead. They should have recast him. They should have either recast T'Challa or they should have had the trial and appointed a new Black Panther. I mean, that was what they described in the first movie as how the Black Panther becomes the Black Panther is they get all the tribes together and the tribes have to fight, or they either abstain or they fight for it, and the winner of the fight gets to become the Black Panther. And I don't think that Shuri, without any kind of superpowers, could beat any of the other tribesmen. She weighs like 94 pounds. This might not all be so deflating if Wakanda Forever works simply as an action spectacle, but very little here pops. As between a fallen king and a rising threat, Marvel's cinematic Phase 4 ends on a tender and mostly triumphant high. And he gives it a 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10. Black Panther Wakanda Forever will have you thinking about the many shapes that grief can take, and it comes at you from all fronts. 8 out of 10. So we're going to go see a movie that's just basically a sad showing them grieving T'Challa, which is not really what I want to spend 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours doing. I would like action. I would like something exciting. Despite being dealt a terrible hand, Coogler manages to deliver a cohesive, emotional, and satisfying follow-up to the first film, which ends MCU Phase 4 on a high note. There's a few other in here. Right is magnificent. That's Linda Marek, The Jewish Chronicle. That's her whole review. Right is magnificent. Doesn't say anything about the movie. Doesn't say anything about the action. Doesn't say anything about Namor. Just that Right is magnificent. Magnificent. This movie isn't always on such sure footing, but that's almost appropriate. A messier movie trying to reckon with a messier range of feelings. That's Austin Collins from the Rolling Stone, which is at least something that I've heard of. We just, we keep going down. We have, like I said, we have a bunch of shills that don't want to lose their Disney rights. A dutiful, mirthless movie derailed by a real-life loss from which no franchise could feasibly recover. Though as long, noisy, and cluttered as any other superhero blockbuster, Wakanda Forever is a sincere and effective genre-mashing drama and one of the better installments in the Marvel oeuvre. 3 out of 4. Which I guess would be a 7. 7 out of 10, something like that. Ticking boxes isn't the same as pulling magic or even just insight from thin air. The sad reality is that the show must go on, and without Chadwick Boseman, it's just more of the same. Our job is to pretend it's enough. I said it all along. Without Chadwick Boseman, when he died, they should have completely thrown out whatever plans they had for this movie and rewritten it to either, yes, acknowledge his death, or to just recast the character. What makes Chadwick Boseman, anybody is special in their own right, but what makes Chadwick Boseman better than William Hurt? They've recast William Hurt with Harrison Ford. They're not going to keep the character of General Ross out of it because William Hurt died, but they are going to keep the character of T'Challa out of it because Chadwick Boseman died. So what's the difference there? Why would you recast William Hurt but not recast Chadwick Boseman? And just go on from there with, yes, we all know that Chadwick Boseman is dead. You don't even have to acknowledge the fact that he's dead. You could put something at the beginning of the movie that says, we're profoundly sorry for the loss of Chadwick Boseman, blah, 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 but the show must go on. That's one of the tenets of any Hollywood or stage production or musical production. It's always the show must go on. I just don't understand why. Well, I kind of do, because they've made this movie firmly ensconced in MCU. They've made this movie all about female empowerment, and the males are just bad guys. Dutiful, mirthless movie derailed by a real-life loss from which no friends. I think I just read that one. And I just read that one. Okay, they're just kind of repeating now. There we go. Black Panther Wakanda Forever's momentum ebbs and flows, but its powerful females move the franchise forward. And that's what like I just said, they actually used Chadwick Boseman's death as a reason to make this a female-empowered MCU type movie. And that's what we get now. That's what we get from Marvel. We're getting a lot of good news coming out of Warner Brothers, but we're not going to talk about that today. A near 3-hour endurance run of gloomy photography and turgidly, I don't know what that means, but turgidly staged, emotionally empty two-way conversations, all seemingly designed to sap cast and viewers' combined will to live. And he gives it a 1 out of 5. That's Robbie Collin from the Daily Telegraph in the United Kingdom. So not all critics are, falling on their knees and praising this movie. Marvel films already get likened to a circus enough, but the feeling of urgency and matching the old saying of the show must go on are very much present with the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I don't agree. If the show must go on, then they should have recast T'Challa. Like I said, the installment was always going to be more somber thanks to the loss of its star. What the film lacks is the will to make that loss heartbreaking. So these are the critic reviews. We'll have to wait and see what the fans think. I know that this movie is expected to make a lot of money, just simply because the female and racial narrative. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the fans think. We see what the critics think. They don't all love it, and they don't all hate it. But we all know that when it comes to critics, sometimes Marvel can do no wrong. If you like this video, please like the video, share it to all your friends out there, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.